I know Jeff from basketball.
Okay.
More than I know him from music. He sat in back of me at Sonic games for years, and when he wasn't giving me a bunch of grief about something I wrote, we talked, and we eventually became friends. We climbed Kilimanjaro together about 10 years ago. It was a great experience. He's just a terrific guy who's involved in a lot of different charitable activities, and we're happy to have him on. So if he's there, bring him out. Hey, Jeff.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, Jeff?
Hey.
Jeff, Dave Sims here. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Nice to joining in.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. There's a big snowstorm here right now, so the bandwidth is iffy. So I actually had to use my phone. I couldn't get out with my computer.
Well, we appreciate you going through all that. How much do you miss being on stage? Like zero, or are you like itching to get back out again?
Well, I mean, we just made a record, so right before the pandemic hit, we had just finished 2 weeks of tour rehearsal. That was a tough one. It really felt like the rug got pulled out from underneath us. But once I got past that couple of weeks and I got out here to Montana, I just sort of redirected the energy and went in the studio and just started being creative. And that I probably almost prefer that to being on tour, but it was hard not to get out and play these new songs because we'd been working on them for so long. So
how good is this new album?
Well, the album that came out in March, I think we felt as good about that record as we have, any record we've made in the last 10, 15 years. We sort of made it ourselves down at the warehouse in Georgetown, and it just felt like it was 100% us. Like we got through all the tough decisions without a referee.
I've always been curious. I mean, I like my music, and I'm always intrigued by how you guys put stuff together. I mean, what's that process like? Hey, man, we want to put together an album. We have some songs. And walk us through what that process is like for you.
Well, it's a lot like putting a Jamaican national basketball team together. It's everybody brings in ideas, and you sort of go through those ideas, and you have sometimes hard discussions about what you like and what you don't like about each other's ideas, and then you just get to work, and hopefully the 10 or 12 rise to the top, and you have a record at the end of it. But it's sort of gotten easier as we've done it. We've been a band for I guess 30 years. Yesterday, I guess, was officially the
how many years? 30?
30, yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. But I think things are a little bit less precious to us as we get older. It really feels like there's a lot of gravy and a lot of icing on the cake these days. So we just feel lucky to still be alive and to be together and to be creative together, and we're probably more supportive of each other as we've ever been. And it's probably like a veteran basketball team. You've been together for 5 or 6 years, and if you make it through those first few years, that the trust level goes up, and the support goes up, and the chemistry goes up, and at that point it's just a treat. When you're on the court with 4 guys that you love to play with who all respect each other, it's like the most. There's such a difference between. I always said playing pickup ball, that the day that you have the 4 guys that you're playing with on the court that you love to play with, that happens 1 out of 10 times, is like the play. You play for that one day that you get down there. So that's sort of where our band's at right now.
One thing I really like about your band is you could, like you say, you've been there together for 30 years. You could just become the greatest hits band and just go around and play the same songs and make billions of dollars and, have it pretty easy, but you guys don't want to settle. You guys are always looking for new songs, new ways to produce those songs. Where's that come from?
I think it's where we, when we first were a band, and we only had the one record to play every night, all we could think about was having 2 or 3 more records to have in the fold so we could mix it up. And now it's almost a curse. And now we have 200 songs. And our fans have sort of like grown to love that part of us, sort of the way that the Grateful Dead fans got, the biggest applause would be during the song they hadn't played in 20 years or whatever. So it's a blessing. I think it keeps us fresh and it keeps that edge there, because there's usually 2 or 3 songs on the set list every night that we haven't played for a few months or a year or 2 years. And sometimes having that edge just makes the show more exciting, because no matter, those maybe the first 8 songs you've been playing quite a bit, but all you're thinking about is that 9th song that you haven't played in 5 years, not screwing it up. So, yeah, we're so fortunate to be where we're at, and it just allows us to, do things, that we've never been able to do in terms of our philanthropy, in terms of, the different cities that we go to and all the relationships that we've built up in those cities, through the different organizations and the promoters and just the local crews and stuff. So it doesn't feel like, it's hard to feel like,
I have a suggestion for you, if you don't mind me, stepping into your territory. The NBA is gone now, right? Orlando is a wasteland.
Yeah.
Why not a music bubble? And and I would have you invite whoever you wanted to invite. So first of all, why can't you do that? Just get a music bubble. You play concerts every 2 or 3 nights. Live stream them. You do it, whatever you do. And you give us that entertainment that we're so hungry for. So why not do that? And then here's the important question is, who do you invite into the bubble? Who do you invite into the bubble?
Well, ultimately it'd be like all your best friends and, the people from the different cities that you haven't seen in a few years. Like, you'd invite all those people. The thing is, we watched pretty closely the first few months, that after the virus hit, we were watching bands, put on the little home concerts, and none of them felt great to us. None of them felt like, like they even came close to the energy that you feel, when you go to a live show. And so I think we're just going to wait. I think we're going to wait until we can get back out there and do it safe. And in the meantime, we'll keep being creative and keep trying to write, and then just be preloaded for the, when it gets safe. I have a good friend who's gone out and done a bunch of those drive-in shows, and he says it's like half awesome and half weird, and because every city sort of has a different set of rules for masking and all that stuff. So it's just like, just navigate all that. That just sounds like a nightmare to me. Like,
wow.
But
so you have empathy for all of the pro athletes who have had to play to empty houses and try to recreate the same competitive juice.
Yeah. What they did in Orlando is just amazing. That came right at the perfect time, in this virus. We were a few months into the virus, and then just to have like really competitive, great basketball every single night, and the playoffs were just magic. Like, up until the finals, it was like maybe some of the best playoff games I've ever seen. Consistently, like every night there was 1 or 2 games that were just, to the end, the last shot, like, guys diving on the floor, like almost, it felt like an NCAA tournament, because people, at least leading up to the playoffs, people were playing for a spot. So, man, it was such a huge infusion of energy just to, have something to take you away from the doldrums of the virus and our government and all the stuff that's, happening around the world.
And it was every night. It was
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah.
And, Donovan Mitchell against Jamal Murray, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, my gosh. And we never saw that when we covered.
No.
We never saw guys taking 40-foot jump shots.
Not
Right.
close.
Right.
Yeah, you get hooted out of the building. The coach would be a big stick and yank it.
Jack Ramsey would have gone on the floor and tackled the guy.
Oh my God! I mean, we used to get nuts when if a guy was a step or two beyond the top of the key. Now that's a layup by today's standards. I mean, the game has evolved so much, and especially you got the 4s and 5s stepping out and banging down 3s with regularity, and you got to take. And Calipari and Patino and those guys got that thing going in the college ranks, and then it just exploded up here now in the pros. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you guard a guy, especially a guy like Mitchell or Murray or Damian Lillard? How do you guard a guy at 40 feet?
Well, exactly. Jeff, you saw the shot what the Dame hit last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When on the inbound right in the last couple seconds, and the defender's giving him 10 feet because heck, he's 43 feet away, and he pured the shot. It was just every time I see that shot, it's just mind blowing.
Hey, Jeff, we got to run, and really appreciate you jumping in, and stay warm, stay dry,
Yeah.
stay safe.
Good seeing your face. Say hey to Carol.
I will.
Much love.
Jeff, nice to meet you, man. Good luck to you.
Nice to meet you. Take care.
All right, catch you then. Hey, stop down to Mariners game sometime. All right.